What is the Matrix? Control. The Matrix is a computer-generated dream world, built to keep us under control in order to change a human being into this.
All right, folks, we are just busting through your calls here at the Alex Jones Show. I am Jason Burma, sitting in all week. We're going to go to Robert, John, Bob, Jesse, and more. But first, I want to play this for the PrisonPlanet.tv viewers. These are a couple commercials that MTV put out, think.mtv.com put out last year, and they basically are warning the average Joe that, hey, guess what? The Holocaust happened to people just like us that didn't really think it was possible. So let's play the clip. And there you have it. Now, I know that doesn't make for great radio because you can't see what's going on. But in the first one, basically, people are rounded up right out of a subway, Bob.
Yeah. And the second one, they're rounded up right out of their house.
Mm-hmm. And what was waiting for them outside? Big trucks full of other people from the family.
Which, of course, exactly what Jack McClam has always said. When the tyranny comes, it's wearing a uniform.
Exactly. We're going to have McClam on in about 20 minutes. All right. Let's take some callers. Let's see who hasn't hung up on me yet. I believe Robert in California we just went to, right? So we're on... Oh, Robert in California is next. Good. Let's go to Robert in California then.
How you doing, Jason?
Good.
No, I haven't hung up on you, but I'm a little bit pet peeved today.
Okay.
Okay.
Everybody's
Here
mad
it
at me
is.
today.
Well, I'm not really mad at you, but, it's just I keep hearing this over and over again about these large marches, large demonstrations.
Mm-hmm.
That does bring somewhat media attention and put the spotlight on some of the problem. But the really thing that's really going to change things is if we don't get in there and start grabbing back the handles of government.
Mm-hmm.
We did that here in Los Angeles County. Several of us who worked on Dr. Paul's campaign ran for the Republican Central Committee and got elected.
That's awesome. So it's kind of like Campaign for Liberty stuff, right? Because I love what Ron Paul did out of that election. He didn't win, but he started an organization that is supposed to get people like ourselves, grassroots, elected into office so that we can make a change. I think that everybody out there that can run for a city council member or a local state senator or a member of Congress should do so.
And
continue.
that dovetails with the with G. Edward Griffin's organization, Freedom Force International.
Yes, Freedom
Same
Force.
thing. You lost the power incrementally, and now you got to take it back incrementally. You actually, rather than just talk about it and gripe about it, you go out there and you run for dog catcher.
That's right.
You know?
Right, continue, man.
Right, and so a few of us even got onto the executive board. Our biggest problem now is basically like any political organization, especially on the Republican side, since they've sort of ruined the name, is getting people registered as Republicans, getting other Republicans elected, and raising money. Of course, the big one, raising money, shows that those of us who actually went out and put ourselves into the wheels to, say that we don't really need money from special interest or people that we don't necessarily want to be friendly with. And then also choosing candidates within your local area to run. That's what the Central Committee does, is basically do endorsements and do campaign research and development. And I think they have these organizations, or what we call them, precinct leaders or block captains, all over the United States. But until we start grabbing at the bottom and then reaching for the top, we're never going to change the top, because once you take away their base of power in their funding, which is pretty much what we'd like to do, nothing's going to happen. All the marches, all the protests.
Well, I'm with you, man. I mean, well, first of all, I think that marches do help, but we have not gotten the numbers that we need to make ourselves relevant in the everyday media. Number one. Number two, I totally and completely agree with you that we need to put ourselves into office. But then I look at myself, I'm like, am I ready to commit, 2 years in my life into some local office? Am I ready to do that? Hopefully somebody else out there is, and maybe that's just not my calling, Bob. But, a couple of my friends, upstate New York guys, actually, I'm an upstate New York guy. My friends that I went to college with, they were from Long Island, and they went all the way out to Minnesota for the big Ron Paul rally. And one of the two of them, actually got chosen by Campaign for Liberty to run for local office and be backed by the organization this year. I'm not sure if he won. But it shows how he was in his mid-20s, how young people can get involved, how old people can get involved. And I'm with this guy. I mean, I think that we do have to take back local office. I think the smaller you start, the bigger you'll get. I don't think that you're going to find many of us able to win a congressional election or an actual Senate election. Hell, Cindy Sheehan couldn't even win her congressional spot, and there was enough people out there that didn't want the incumbent Pelosi, whether they fudged the numbers or whatever. There was somebody that had a face, a name, and honestly, a message that I could get behind. Let's end the war.
We're talking about county commissioners and things like that, mayors, that type of thing, where they can have an impact on their local community.
Yeah.
Here in Austin, a few years ago, and Alex Jones actually, kind of led the thing. We had got the city council to pass a resolution against the Patriot Act.
I remember that.
I mean, that's the kind of thing we're talking about. You got to go from the bottom up, and it may not be glamorous, to be a county commissioner. I don't know. But things like that have to be done all over the country.
I'm almost sure that it is absolutely not glamorous. Robert, I thank you for the call. All right, let's jump to our next caller. I believe we are on John in Canada. John, what's on your mind?
Hey, gentlemen, how's it going?
Good.
Good. So I'm going to be a bit of a Christ advocate here. I want to ask you, how much money do we need to give you in charity before you guys understand just the most basic precepts of what justice is? The problem with you guys hijacking our freedom movement is that you won't acknowledge this simple thing. And instead you hang people...
Look, man, we're in the real world. We don't live on fairy tales and clouds.
Well, hey,
and
okay,
what? You need to, hold on, you need to pay people. The guy running my show right now across the way, he has to make a living. You know what I mean? He has to be able to pay his rent. I have to be able to pay my rent, my garbage, my electric, somebody to watch my dogs when I'm gone. I'm not rocking any diamonds in the prisonplanet.tv. You got this? This is a metal necklace that cost me $5.
What is his point?
His point is that we're hijacking the free movement because we take money. Because we take money here.
Was that your point?
Yeah, it's absolutely his point. Listen.
Is it? Is he still on?
He's not. All right. So what's your point?
Is that your point?
My point, for example, Ray McGovern, you had him on. Ray McGovern is fully cognizantly aware that the Bush administration doctored the National Intelligence Estimate on invading Iraq. They took the CIA's words, rewrote entire paragraphs, and conned you as a victim to die. Now, you, as a coward, hijacking our freedom movement, won't mention that. Like, you don't mention...
What do you mean hijacking our freedom? Wait, hold on. I took McGovern to task on a lot of things, including the appointments of the Obama administration, Rahm Emanuel, Robert Gates. I got what I could out of him. Hold on. I got what I could out of him. The guy's not even in office yet. We're 5 days away from being inaugurated. Okay, so what else did you want me to tell? He talked about the Bohemian Grove, for Christ's sake. I also talked about, what else? Hold on, what else I talked to him about? I also talked to him about that Obama and Hillary attended Bilderberg. So in a less than hour period, I brought up a lot of good points that were against his point of view. I don't know if you want me to viciously attack every guest that comes on here, but then we're not going to have guests. Go ahead.
Not at all. The other thing you guys got a problem with is putting words in other people's mouths. It would be great if I could just speak for myself,
Well,
but no,
you can't speak for yourself when you accuse us of hijacking the freedom movement. Who is the freedom? Who the hell are you? I mean, listen, we're all people, and we're not.
My friend.
Your justice?
No, justice requires evidence to prove someone's guilt or innocence. By Bush closing in 9/11 investigations immediately after the terrorist event, he is committing the highest act of treason. But you guys go, he's just a puppet. Never mind him. He
is a puppet, dude. Listen. Do you realize yesterday, this is something I haven't talked about on the show, and you keep screaming. We're going to let him go because I can't take it. but it's just totally ridiculous, mentally ill jealousy or something.
Look, the deal is, and I want to see if I can.
He is a puppet.
I want to see if I can communicate this to that fellow. Listen, yes, he is a puppet. When we say Bush did this and Bush did that, we know that he is a representative. He is a poster child for a totalitarian oligarchy. We know that he has no power unto himself. He's being told what to do. He's a puppet. So he's a poster child. When you say Obama did this or Obama did that, it's not him. It's his handlers. It's his controllers. So, you know.
And we're not supposed to take any money, Bob. How dare I make a movie and charge for it? Even though I give it all away for free. We give it all. This will be on YouTube later today, all for free.
Well, the money thing, I don't understand. You know, that's funny. Dan Rather, when he was head of the CBS News, he could get paid a couple of $1 million a year, and he's credible, right?
Everything we said came